What if AI's edge in math is really about memory, not genius? And in another lab, AI has now helped create working virus genomes from scratch. Welcome to the Automated Daily, AI News Edition, the podcast created by Generative AI. It's August 16th, 2026. I'm Trent Teller, and here are the AI stories worth your time today. This episode is brought to you by 11 Labs. 11 Labs lets you discover the future of AI audio with cutting-edge voice technology. Find the link in the episode notes. One of the more interesting ideas making the rounds today is that AI may look strong at mathematics, not because it thinks more deeply than humans, but because it can keep much more symbolic material in play at once. In math, that matters a lot. Definitions, assumptions, intermediate steps, and constraints can all stay visible instead of getting lost. A related piece on AI-assisted coding makes a similar point from another angle. The work has not disappeared. It has shifted into framing problems clearly, managing context, and building feedback loops. And a new paper on porting a large legacy weather model to GPUs backs that up in practice. The AI was helpful, but only inside a validation-heavy process where humans kept checking that the science still held up. In biotech, a science review is pushing back on the idea that AI has already transformed drug discovery. The authors argue that there is still very little convincing evidence that AI is improving the outcomes that matter most, especially getting better candidates through human trials. Their bigger point is that drug data are messy, biased, and often poorly matched to machine learning, so benchmark gains can be misleading. For the field, that is a call for more honest measurement and more investment in producing the right data, not just running better models on convenient data sets. At the same time, there is a real milestone from Stanford. Researchers used a genomic language model to help design 16 functional bacteriophages from scratch. These are viruses that infect bacteria, and some of the AI-designed versions were able to hit E. coli strains that had already become resistant to a related natural phage. That makes the work notable for the long-term goal of custom treatments against antibiotic-resistant infections. But it also sharpens the biosecurity debate, because once AI-designed genomes become practical, the same tools that may help medicine can also lower barriers for misuse. There's also an unusual signal from the book trade. Independent second-hand booksellers say they are seeing odd bulk purchases, with random titles being shipped off in volume, and many suspect AI companies are buying them for training data. The story picked up after a U.S. court ruling suggested that training unpurchased books may be lawful, and after court records revealed Anthropic had used a spine-cutting scanning process on physical books. Even if the legal picture differs by country, the broader takeaway is clear. Model training still depends on raw material, and in some cases that raw material is physical culture being taken apart for data. Meta is in the spotlight for two different but connected reasons. First, Mark Zuckerberg has joined the trend of AI manifesto writing, presenting AI as broadly empowering and downplaying fears around jobs and social harm. Second, a report says Meta has struck a deal to train AI products on Newsmax content, raising concerns about misinformation and how politically charged material can shape outputs at enormous scale. Taken together, these stories show that the AI race is not only about building capable systems, it is also about controlling the story around them and deciding what information gets baked into them. And finally, in infrastructure, one critique argues that Cloudflare has drifted from being a focused, dependable platform into a more confusing bundle of overlapping products in AI-era experiments. The complaint is less about ambition and more about execution, too many similar services, weak observability in places, and too much emphasis on launches over polish. Whether or not you agree with every detail, it reflects a wider tension across tech right now. Companies want to be seen as AI leaders, but users still care most about reliability, clarity, and tools that do exactly what they promise. Thanks to our sponsor, CrispCall. CrispCall provides agentic cloud telephony for modern businesses. Find the link in the episode notes. That's it for today's AI News Edition. I'm Trent Teller. Links to all the stories we covered can be found in the episode notes.